Hello dear ones, this is Celeste. This is the first collective consciousness reading. If you would like to find out more about my view on the collective consciousness and how a collective consciousness reading works, please go ahead and watch the introduction video, which you will find in the description box. In a nutshell, this is a general reading which will concern everyone in their own unique way. The structure of the reading is as follows. So we have this central card, which is the gift provided to us by the year 2021. This gift is available to all of us, and we need to receive it, allow it to come into our consciousness and integrate it. And each of us will do it in their own unique way. Then we have what we need to leave behind as a collective, what we have learned in a certain manner and we need to go ahead and leave behind. And this is something that we have learned the past years, especially in the last year. This next card is the energy we need to embrace in order to align with the energy that is coming for next year, 2022. So let's go ahead and see what cards do we have. So we have the Sun in the position of the gift we need to receive. We have the Ace of Pentacles for what we need to leave behind. And we have the Star for the energy we need to embrace in the next year. Then these oracle cards give us some additional information about what we have been going through in the last year. And we have solar consciousness, again the Sun, it's very emphasized here. Then we have arrogance and true compassion. I'm going to start with the Ace of Pentacles and what we need to leave behind. We need to leave behind this tendency of ours to just stand with our hand extended and wait for things to happen to us. This passive expression of ours, where we are expecting things to just fall out of the sky, to just happen, and maybe we will actually get some riches in our hands. This tendency of ours not to value things in their correct value, because when we try to receive things for free all of the time, we can also feel entitled that we can actually have the merit to receive anything without expressing value, just for free, just because we are. And in this way we just stay passive and expect everything to work out, expect everything to fall out of the sky, and expect everything to be given to us, like we have the utmost right to just experience anything without providing a value in return, without giving anything in exchange. This puts us in a passive mode, because we're always expecting for things to happen instead of going ahead, doing some action and conquering, and also be able to receive what we need instead of what we want. So this tendency here is also to impose what we want on the universe, asking again and again, hey, give me this and only this. This is what I want. But usually the universe gives us what we need. So this difference between what we need and what we want needs to diminish. So we are able to use the energy that we receive in a much better way, in a harmonious way that is connected to nature, which we in a way in which we respect the cycles of nature, of sleep and regeneration, and we do not ask in a perpetual mode for our whims to be respected, instead of looking at the whole world, at the collective, and understand the needs of the collective and not just our needs. So we see here that we are being pushed to let go of this material attachment to our wishes being fulfilled in the way that we think that we want them to be fulfilled, and instead open up and see what we have around us and start valuing the work of another, start valuing ourselves more, start valuing the world, its resources, start valuing animals and other type of consciousness, start being more aware about all of these things. This type of mentality, I also call it the Garden of Eden mentality. When we think and we feel that we are entitled to just receive everything in our lap. And we can think about this, for example, like a person who has already 5 cars in their garage, really beautiful working cars, and he also would like the latest Ferrari. Now, this type of behavior, it's like a childish behavior, because I also received this vision of a child in the middle of its living room, just throwing away the toys, making a tantrum because he doesn't have the latest toy, the latest little robot, crying and just making all of this mess because he has not received the latest, the most famous toy or whatever he has imagined. So this type of behavior, it's like a childish behavior, not understanding the needs of the world and our own needs. So as a collective, we have been working on this the last years, and some of us have integrated this in a better way than others, of course, and we will still be working on this, since it is such a great attachment for our collective consciousness. It also tells us to let go of false promises, because these things that we want, it's like we are falsely promising ourselves that we can have everything, that we can have it all just by doing nothing, just by providing nothing to the world, by sitting there in laziness. And also arrogance tells us about these types of behavior. So we have been working on this entitlement and arrogance for the past years, and we are still doing this, of course. What I feel is that we have been integrating this as a collective consciousness in about a bit more than 20% of our consciousness. So not much, but it is a lot of influence. Those 10-20% just make a lot of pressure on the rest to start integrating this lesson and let go of this Garden of Eden behavior. Okay, let's go to the next. So we have the gift which is being offered by this 2021 year. The gift is the sun itself, is the solar consciousness. This is an amazing gift. This is the gift of the collective consciousness power. It helps us understand the power of the collective, the power that we have when we are united as an individual and when we are united as groups, guiding the experience and providing a lot of inspiration and direction. So we are being given this gift of recognition of group power and unity, and also the feeling of being whole, of having everything, although we are naked. So this ties up with the Ace of Pentacles and what I have discussed before, because this is the gift that tells us that we are enough just how we came here, naked, without anything material, just our bodies. So with just our bodies, we have everything that we need to be happy in this world. And this is what the gift is reminding us, our native and natural state, our state of being energy, and it also reminds us of our energy body. So in this year we have also received this gift of illumination. So some of us have received in their bodies new light codes. Some of us have received the inner fire of consciousness, that inner fire which connects you to the logos, to the superconscious. So this gift is an amazing gift. It is a gift which lights up our whole collective, even if just one little light is open to receive this type of consciousness. So in our collective consciousness, we have now more light beings. Not pure light, but just that we have increased this light quotient. This means that these beings that have received this light and will continuously open to this type of gift will start enlightening the world. That means that more of the hidden stuff will start to resurface and has resurfaced in the last year. But this gift is something that we receive at the end of the year usually. by the work we have been doing the whole year. So, by receiving this gift, we are starting to light everything up. That means that we are going to start seeing more of the things that were hidden in our collective consciousness, more of the shadows, more of those pain spots. We're gonna put the light on those pain spots so more people start seeing, so more of us start opening our eyes, and we get to have more union with all of the people, and also guidance and connection to our higher selves. So this option is available for all of us, but some of us will of course welcome this gift more than others, and it is okay. Each of us, we have our own cycles and our own evolution. So this light that we are bringing inside of us also starts to nourish our body. So what I am also getting from these two cards, that some people are starting to need less food, and also in the general aspect, many people are starting to need less food, but we need to acknowledge this so we can get to leave behind these routines or the way we were looking at resources and food in the past. So more people start to feel nourishment just from energy, just from being in the sun. They start to recharge. They feel a lot better. They start to see the world better, with new eyes, with new perspectives. This gift is also about perception and our intelligence. Our intelligence is starting to increase, of course, if we receive this gift that is available. And our perceptions of the world are starting to change because of the light that we are bringing by accepting this gift. We are also starting to see our resources in a new way by seeing our greed and how we had this tendency to consume everything instead of just recharging by who we are. This gift also reminds us of seeing the things that are simple and being happy about the little things, being happy of what we see around us, and have this enlightened child behavior. Because I have been speaking here about this childish behavior, but this child was in a subconscious, unconscious way propagating this challenging and harmful behavior. But this child has the light within. He has a lot more access to knowledge, to understand and see things in the way that we are. So we are also partially healing our inner child in order to bring more awareness in this part of ourselves and let go of this ignorance, and start bringing true compassion for other people, seeing the other people and starting this fraternity, offering solidarity, offering this compassion to all other beings who suffer. This gift is also telling me about the power to get out of the darkness, the power to follow this light inside yourself and go ahead and never back down from following it until you receive this light in a full way. So you are passing from these dark moments, from these difficult and challenging moments, to better seeing the world, to leaving behind all of the things that covered you, all of the masks you have been putting on yourself and on your body, and seeing things in a more simple and clear way. Then we have the energy we need to embrace in order to align with the next year. And this is the star. We're just having a lot of naked people here, this woman and the child. And this tells me that we need to open up more to ourselves, be intimate with ourselves, be ready to just drop our clothes, to drop all of the things that cover us and see the truth. So this star here tells me that we need to walk on the path of the truth, even if it hurts our feet, even if somehow we feel we are destroying what we were before. This is a challenging energy to bring. I feel that the collective is actually resisting to this change because it will bring a lot of new information to the surface, information which may be painful and also painful events, but will also give us the strength to go past all of this, especially if we embrace the solar consciousness. If we bring this light within, then we will have the inner power to go through all of these difficult moments and to actually believe in our star, believe in that tiny light inside of us, even if we do not see it, even if we do not see the end of the difficult times and the crisis mode. We are invited to have a lot of faith, to open up and be actually more expressive instead of hiding, to actually be more visible and to have courage to stand in our own power, to be sovereign and to heal all of these tendencies from the past, to hide so much, to be afraid to go under a rock or to just keep our heads in the sand and just hope for the best. But the best is welcomed if we start releasing these patterns, if we just pull our heads out of the sand and start seeing the world as it is, start seeing the things that we do not like to see, start seeing all of the patterns that we have been doing to ourselves, the harmful patterns, because these patterns will not stop if we do not start seeing them. So as a collective, we are invited to uncover our essence, to process all of the information a lot faster, to go ahead and look into our subconscious, into our unconscious, without so much fear, and to have this incredible faith in our inner power and voices to hear the guidance of the higher aspects of ourselves, of the divine aspects, to hear the guidance of the people who have received this light inside of them, to hear the guidance and also to see this light. Even if we may not see it yet, we are being guided. We are being guided towards these lights in our world. And if we start denying this, the guidance, if we start denying the crisis we are going through, if we start denying the shocking truth and this new reality that we are seeing, then we cannot heal, because we are all pushed and stimulated to heal our subconscious, to heal what we have there and still keeps us in lack, in thinking we do not have enough, and this is why we need to have it all. We need to conquer it all. We need to have it all just for ourselves. So this star is also speaking to me about sustainability, about new technologies that will be cleaner, that will make our world into more sustainable world. It also speaks to me about resources, and that we need to learn how to use our resources in a harmonious way with the environment, that we need to respect nature, that we need to respect its cycles, and that we also need to open up to healing, deep healing, very deep healing, that kind of healing which brings us back to our essential nature, to what is really important. And the star also has connection with compassion. We are learning compassion in the next year. We are being activated to learn and open up to true compassion, to seeing all of our brothers and sisters in a more compassionate way, to accept their pain, to accept their suffering, to stand there even if they hate us, to be available emotionally and mentally to provide help whenever it is needed, and whenever it is needed in the collective consciousness, because people ask for help even in unconscious ways, even if they think they do not need help. So for these people who receive the light within, they are called to do this in our collective consciousness, to let go of arrogance, to embrace true compassion, and provide this environment for growth and enlightening. And now we're gonna go ahead and add some more cards. So I have been asking here what else we have been going through. And we have voices, ritual, solstice, and frost. So we see this ritual card. So as a collective consciousness, we have been going through a ritual which has been bringing out of our subconscious a lot of voices, voices that have not been heard until now. So we are bringing out these voices that need to be heard from our subconscious, which tells us of the things that need to be healed. And at the same time, we have frost. We have this freezing in our consciousness, this stuckness, like everything has slowed down and everything has solidified, like ice. There is coldness and a sense of being cold and not moving, of just sitting still there into this ritual. Now this ritual, we can also think of it as repetition. It is a pattern of repetition. I can also understand here that we have been learning, or a part of our collective has been learning a new routine and has been encouraged to change behavior. We have all just experienced this ritual in which we have started to change our behavior and also see a lot more of these unheard voices. Many from our consciousness have not even known that these hidden voices, that these problems and pains actually existed, but now they are becoming a lot more knowledgeable about these issues and these voices. So this coldness has started to make our collective consciousness solidify a little bit, be more heavy in some aspects. But this has happened in order for us to stop and also be more knowledgeable about our old patterns and rituals, what we had in our subconscious, and what we were perpetuating over and over again, repeating like a ritual, but is now no longer useful or needed. By passing through this amazing collective consciousness ritual, we are going to a transition phase into which we are stopping and freezing in a way, in order to bring and be able to see the contrast between the ice and this light that we see here. Even if some of the rituals and behaviors people are learning nowadays may seem harmful or unneeded, these types of new patterns inspire people to learn something new, inspire them to learn what is useful and what is actually important to them through the power of contrast between what is warm and what is very, very cold. Also, a part of the collective has been in this freezing mode, like really shocked about what is going on, really in this position of not knowing how to move forward. But this position has stopped their waves, has put them in this observation mode. So they will slowly come out of this observation mode as more and more people receive this gift of light. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add some more cards to answer the question what we started to heal in the past year. And we have self-love, rhythm, mysticism, and impatience. So we have been starting to heal the mysticism and the impatience. This tells me that we have been started to be more open to the things we were thinking are hidden. to see more of the mysteries, to embrace more of the mysteries, to heal the fear of unknown, to walk more in the unknown with much more confidence, and to understand that yes, there are hidden things, that yes, there are things that we may not understand, even with our current technology, even with our current understanding. There are so many things that we do not understand about ourselves and the world. So, healing this fear of the unknown and the desire to hide brings a lot more openness in our consciousness, not really in our reality. As we need a lot more time to heal this, we still have a part of the collective which has a lot of fear about things that are hidden. They just shy away from looking at them. They have this immediate reaction of rejection, and they just prefer to stay there and not see. In this past year, so we have been healing more about this, with more people receiving this light, being able to see more, and being able not to be so afraid of what is not known. And we have been healing impatience, this desire of ours to just get all the things immediately, just have everything and reach everything, and also without having any consideration about the consequences. So having more patience brings us into a more sustainable rhythm, brings us into a rhythm that is closer to the earth, to the original patterns and cycles of the earth. This is also why the frost is here, and why there is so much need for the sun to arrive. We are being also adjusted to the moon cycles, because we have more adjustment to the solar cycles than to the moon cycles. So in this past year we have been stopped from what we were doing in order to get into a new rhythm which is more appropriate for our lives, which is more healthy, and we have been also healing this impatience. This has been bringing a lot more self-love and this openness of recognition to our own value, to the value of human nature, of touching, to the value of just being together, the value of togetherness by loving ourselves, by caring for ourselves. We are learning how to care a lot more. This is why we have been stopped, frozen, and beginning these new rituals of learning. Now I'm bringing some more cards, but we are gonna talk about our group, our consciousness group. Now I am part of a consciousness group, so the next questions will be for this particular consciousness group and all of the other groups with which we are resonating or guiding. So this question is, what have we moved a lot in our consciousness, in this group consciousness, in the past year? What have we been doing, healing, or expressing? So we have here growth and dried flower fairy with sweet memories. So we see that in the past year, our consciousness group has been growing a lot. We have been doing a lot of leaps in consciousness. We have been expanding into more of ourselves. We have been doing a lot of emotional growth, a lot of mental clarity, and we have been remembering a lot of things. So this growth has brought us a new way of looking in our past, of knowing how to value our memories, our past selves, and also heal a lot more from our memory bank. We have cleared a lot of things from the way we had been remembering ourselves, and so we have changed a lot in our subconscious. And because we are growing, and we have been growing at a fast rate in the past years, we have started to access a lot more of our extended memories. So memories from past lives, memories about the history of this earth, and memories about people in our lives. We have started to draw back that veil that we have on our memories, and also we could have been forgetting a lot, and this is okay. Why is that? Because sometimes we need to put to sleep a lot of things which are not needed right now for our consciousness. We need to let them go into sleep and into forgetfulness for a while, in order for us to clean, to make space for the memories that actually help us grow. Now, the next question is, what is the impact that we have as a consciousness group onto all of the collective consciousness? What is our contribution as a group the past year? So we have self-care and discovery. So as a consciousness group, we have been influencing people to discover more of themselves, and also to reach new levels in their own beings, and to open up to a lot more love and self-care for themselves. So we have been inspiring people to make this step into a lot more care for themselves, and of course for the world itself, and also open up to a lot more information, to open up to all of these new things that are coming toward us, and also to higher knowledge, to more understanding about the world and themselves. We're gonna finish this reading with just a few messages for our particular consciousness group. And we have conclusions are within reach. We have creativity. We have connection. We are all connected. And I have also chosen this, they are called archetypes, to help us understand what we are most embodying, what we are drawn to embody in this next period. So we see this child divine, and the Samaritan. So this as a simple message, we are being told that we are reaching a lot of conclusions lately. Conclusions that we haven't been able to see without using our creative outlets, and also that in the past year we have been doing a lot of creative work, expanding ourselves, growing, and now we are very close to making some successful conclusions and reach some real answers. We have been also in this process of getting to be more connected, more and more connected, but also being very conscious about our uniqueness. Then we have these two archetypes, and we are being stimulated to refine our capacity to help those that we would prefer to ignore. This is really interesting. So we are being called to offer help even to those people we would not usually want to help. We may not even think that we are able to help them, and that we would be much more peaceful if we wouldn't just bother ourselves with these types of people. So we are being asked to show this native openness to help, and also this reminds me of the star energy and true compassion. But this help needs not to be imposed or suggested very strongly. We can also help in our consciousness directly, not necessarily on the material level. And the child divine speaks about the sun and this innocence and purity that we are being asked to embrace, and also a lot of connection with the divine. This card also tells me about that. So we are being pushed into having a lot more connection, opening up to more light within, opening up to a stronger connection to our divine self and creative self. And this is about to take a new level in our consciousness. It's about to come to a completion, to a moment where we are just jumping to a new level of connection. So this will be all for this time. May you open up and receive this gift of light within. May you open up to true compassion and let go of greed and arrogance. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. See you next time.